8, 9, 10. Mic check. This is a mic check, everyone. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is a mic check. Mic check for everyone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Mic check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Microphone check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good? Everybody good?
This is where I spent all my time.
And it's like Good morning, everyone. This is the 10 a.m. briefing from the Kerr County Response Management for the flood disaster. First up today, we have Sheriff Larry Letha.
Y'all ready? Once again, Larry Letha, Kerr County Sheriff. Again, thank you all for covering this and helping us get the message out. I'll start first, and then our city manager will go next and give you some information, and then we'll finish with our Kerrville mayor. Okay, what I'm here to do, like I said, is give you all the most current updated information. Please bear in mind, these numbers will continue to change. As I'm walking in the door, I'm getting texts. It's going to be like yesterday. I think these numbers are going to continue to change and increase as time goes on. But like I said, we'll do a good job on keeping you updated. Search and rescue operations continue with a full response from local, state, and national first responders. At present, there's over 400 first responders for more than 20 agencies that are working in Kerr County. We have more than a dozen canine working in and near the river. More than 100 air, water, and ground vehicles are in the field right now working on this search and rescue. As of 9 a.m. this morning, we've recorded 59 deceased in Kerr County. Among those who are deceased, we have 38 adults and 21 children. 18 adults pending identification, and 4 children are also pending identification. At present, there are 11 Camp Mystic campers unaccounted for, along with 1 counselor. We extend our sincerest condolences and prayers for every single family affected by this tragedy. And we continue to work around the clock and reunite these families. We will continue to our search efforts until everybody is found. Our missing person call center is open, and those reporting missing loved ones can call the number 830-258-1111. I'll repeat one more time, 830-258-1111. Please follow the Kerr County Sheriff's Office and City of Kerrville Facebook for your latest information. At this time, I'll turn it over to our City Manager, Dalton Rice.
Thank you, Sheriff. Thank you all for being here today. Everyone in the community is hurting, and we know many of you are locals or have some local connections here, so please keep everybody in your thoughts as we continue to navigate this very challenging time for our community. Search operations continue. Starting about 0600 this morning, we started putting boots on the ground. We have increased our number of personnel that are navigating the really challenging shores along the bank line, but we are continuing to make progress from west to east as we continue operations. What we really need from y'all is to really help us get the word out. We know that people want to volunteer, but what we're starting to see is personal drones that are flying. With these personal drones that are flying, that is a danger to aircraft, which risks then further operations. So if you could, please pass the communication along that we need to keep these personal drones out of the sky. We have drones and assets flying. We want to continue to do that. For volunteers and donations, we do have a phone number, 830-465-4794. We can give you that number after, but if you want to volunteer, if you have donations, please contact that number and they will help get everything out. We have families who need to be reunited, and we are continuously making effort to make sure that our families are reunited. We want to continue to work together with our community. We appreciate everybody here, and we want to make sure that we stay Kerr united. I'm going to let the mayor wants to say a few words, and then I will take a couple questions after the mayor.
Again, thank you for being here. You know, I'm old enough to remember Fred Rogers, and he one time said, during a crisis, look for the helpers. You will always find people who are helping. In Kerrville, those helpers are the city staff, county personnel, state agencies, and federal agencies. The entire Kerrville City Council is on site today. We're doing everything we can. Let me repeat something I said yesterday. In our Emergency Operations Center, it's not a bunch of different teams. It's one team. Our goal is to rescue those in peril and find those who are lost. If you are interested in donating to help those families who've been affected, you can visit the Community Foundation of the Texas Hill Country. They've set up a portal for donations, and I understand our community, our state, and the world have been responding. Thank you. Kerrville's branch of the Salvation Army has been designated as our official partner for volunteer coordination and in-kind donations. They can be reached at a number very similar to what you just heard, 830-465-4797. Also, we have a website for volunteers to register, a different website. It's tcr.communityos.org. It's important to follow the City of Kerrville's Facebook page for updates. If you follow social media and are interested in such things, I may be too old to tell you this, but there is a hashtag. It's hashtag Kerr United. That's what we are. We're united to help those who are grieving and to find those who are lost. And now we'll open up to questions. I cannot answer operational questions, but I'm going to ask the city manager to come back up.
I'm not sure who can answer this, but we just talked with business owners who are very concerned not only for themselves but also for employees about how are they going to pay their mortgage, how are they going to pay their electricity. They've been having people reach out to them about their bills, and they're terrified that in the middle of all this they're going to get cut off or
We are working through everything right now. Currently our biggest focus is to making sure that we get families reunited with their loved ones. And so we are not going to stop until we are able to get those families reunited.
Question for both you and the sheriff. There appears to be a massive operation now in Center Point. Is that where we're seeing bodies recovered at this moment?
We are seeing bodies recovered all over, up and down. So as we make our way east to west, we have the entire pretty much span of operations. We broke it down into grids so we can recover those bodies. So yes, it is a full operation.
None as of this morning, Lucy.
Yeah. One more question.
Yeah, well, one of the questions that still hasn't been answered 3 days into this is despite TEM's warning on July 2nd and July 3rd that something like this could have happened, that the threat existed, why that information didn't get down to the camps and why they weren't evacuated. Can you answer that now?
That is a great question, but again, we want to make sure that we continue to focus. We still have 11 missing children that we want to get reunited with our families. Until we can get reunited with our families, we are not going to stop until we do. So thank you.
Just a quick follow-up question, sir. Was any emergency alert given out on the 4th that morning of? Did anyone get
Sir,
any
there are
alert?
families who deserve better than that.
and the U.S. Coast Guard, and of course TDEM. We deployed a Starflight helicopter with 1 pilot, 1 nurse, and 1 paramedic that completed 6 missions and 2 hoist rescues, moved 9 patients to a collection point, all in over about 4.5 flight hours. Throughout all of this, our first responders, dispatchers, road crews, utility workers, and volunteers exercised extraordinary bravery. I cannot thank this group of folks for their courage enough and for their quick actions. As we move forward, I want to reiterate that this disaster is not over. While floodwaters seem to be receding in many areas, the rain seems to be slowing down. Damage assessments, debris removal, and recovery operations will still take days and weeks. And we're still, I believe, under a flash flood watch until 7 p.m. today. So just, the same things we always urge folks: never drive into a low water crossing, especially during a storm. This had catastrophic consequences, I think, for some people in Travis County, and it's just something that you should never do still to this hour. Listen to your phone alerts. Make sure that you have an evacuation plan, especially if you live near a creek, even if it's dry, and use that plan if the National Weather Service or others recommend to evacuate. Stay away from flood-damaged areas today and tomorrow unless authorized to return. Report hazardous conditions or missing persons to our emergency hotline. And continue to monitor Travis County social media and emergency websites for shelter information, aid registration, and road closures. You can find up-to-date information at traviscountytx.gov/emergency, including recovery resources. So we've been through a lot the last few days, but we're Travis County, and we're going to get through this together. We are committed to doing everything possible to protect lives, help families recover, and rebuild stronger than before. And I'm going to pass it on now to the Sheriff, Sally Hernandez. Sheriff?
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
Sally Hernandez, Travis County Sheriff. People in our community have been utterly devastated by this sudden, unexpected flooding that took place. My heart goes out to each and every one who has suffered such great loss. As flash floods hit on July the 5th, our 911 call center experienced a surge in calls. The timing of those calls paint a picture of when floodwaters hit the affected communities. At 1 a.m., TCSO dispatchers received 49 calls, and by 3 a.m., that number spiked to 112. Flood-related calls continued to come in steadily for hours after that. We were fully staffed for the 4th of July weekend, so we pivoted those resources, our patrol deputies, to respond to the 911 calls. Floodwaters rose so quickly that roadway access to many of those callers were completely cut off. Deputies assisted with rescue efforts throughout the early morning hours. As daylight came and devastation became very painfully evident, we continued rescue efforts, and our special response team went door to door checking on the welfare of all of those 911 callers that called in during the overnight hours. Unfortunately, our agency also assisted with recovery missions. Today, we're continuing our search and rescue efforts, and one of our lake patrol boats is out with Parks and Wildlife searching the Cow Creek area, which is only accessible by water at this time because of the roadways have been washed away. Our special response team, along with the Travis County Parks, are assigned to barricade roadways to keep people from driving into unsafe areas and to help prevent looting. Our drone team is in the Sandy Creek area today assisting with search and rescue efforts. FM 1431 and Singleton Bend West toward Burnett County is blocked to the damaged roadways. Juniper Trail is impassable due to road damage, and Nameless Road is damaged but is passable through Terra Vista. I'm grateful for everyone that you see up here and their roles that they have played in trying to help our community. But what I'm more grateful for is the way that our community comes together and helps each other get through these really hard times. Thank you so much.
Eric?
Yeah, good morning. I'm Eric Carter. I'm the Chief Emergency Management Coordinator for Travis County. Again, I'm like the judge. It's okay. Hats off to the first responder agencies out at the Emergency Service District 1 and all across the county. They really stepped up in a what is a no-notice holiday weekend to respond to a very critical incident. Of course, we're all thinking about the folks in Kerr County, but as we know locally, we also had some loss of life. So hats off to those folks. And again, our hearts are going out to them. From the Emergency Operations Center and here, the emergency management team, our sole focus in the first 24 to 48 hours is support to our first responders. Sheriff Hernandez was eloquent in telling you how she and the team have responded from the law enforcement side. Also, our public works team working hard, and we've got some folks here along with our parks folks and our transportation and natural resources department working yeoman's hours, doing everything from road safety issues, road closures, all the way to, again, search and rescue. So that's been our initial focus. While they'll continue that focus in the field at the ESD out in Lago Vista, we expect here we're going to be making our transition over to the recovery. We're getting to where we're going to get that incident stabilized. Now we're going to be moving into recovery. So right now, one of the initial needs folks need to understand, if people are out there and they want to know how to help, if you're a victim and you need immediate assistance, we want to encourage you to call the Red Cross. Red Cross is here with us today. They can help you with immediate needs. By later this afternoon, we'll be putting out additional resources. Red Cross will make sure that you are sheltered, that you have an immediate ability to cover first in food, clothing, if you lost those things in flash flooding. We know there will be other needs. We've got a great team of volunteer agencies and community partners that are gathering here at the EOC, and we're going to look at other resources we can put out for the community. We expect our response to move from here to more out in the Lago Vista area. That's where the impact is. That's not to ignore what was going on in the Briar Cliff and other parts of the county, but we know just from the reports we received, the bulk of the impact is out in the Lago Vista ESD1 region. So that's where we'll be in the upcoming days. As I told the team, it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. We got to work through this over time. Our goal is to pace ourselves and do our jobs. So we're going to keep doing that. I'll let these folks here give you the highlights of their response. I don't even want to step over that, but they'll keep at it and we'll keep at it. So thank you. Who? Chief. Thank you. Chief. Excuse me, sir.
Good morning. Rob Lukritz, Chief of Austin Travis County EMS. As was mentioned earlier, our hearts go out to everyone that was affected by this tragic event. From an Austin Travis County EMS perspective, in the early hours of Saturday morning, we received numerous 911 calls reporting individuals who were experiencing severe flooding requiring evacuation. Our teams, in collaboration with the Emergency Services District, deployed numerous resources. Austin Travis County EMS deployed 2 boat teams, as well as supervisory assets to assist in the command center, both in Travis County, in Lago Vista, as well as in Burnett County. We also dispatched several ambulances. In total, 25 individuals were rescued by our teams, and 4 of those were transported with non-life-threatening emergencies to local healthcare facilities. Our teams continue to work throughout the day to assist in the rescue efforts. In addition to our efforts here in Travis County, we continue to have assets deployed in Kerrville, in Kerr County, where we have an ambulance bus as well as a boat team deployed from our agency. In addition, our community health paramedics also assisted with the Emergency Family Assistance Center, which I believe was in Leander. It's moved a couple times, to assist in the care for those families that were affected. And with that, I'll turn it over back to Judge Brown.
We'll open up for questions.
Okay.
So we know that 4 are confirmed deceased. How many do we have missing right now?
So based on talking to the ESD this morning at the meeting that they had at 8 a.m., they suspect there's somewhere between 11 and 13, but those are largely unconfirmed. It's like they talked to somebody who said, we heard that this person is missing. There's one person that they told me about that they firsthand know is missing still. In talking to other people that live out there this morning, they pointed, to a car that they thought people were in that I could see, a quarter mile down the river. And so there are still people missing. We do not know exactly how many. I know firsthand that there was that one person confirmed missing by the ESDs.
Stacey?
Judge Rock, you talked
talked a little bit about the notifications that some people in Western Travis County got.
Mhm.
Could you talk more about what kinds of warnings people received and whether any of this death was preventable?
Yeah, so I can tell you what I have heard that people have received, and then I don't know, Cody or anybody else, if y'all want to come up, please do. My understanding is that there was an alert from the National Weather Service sometime around noon on Friday. Then there was another one sometime around midnight, and then there was one somewhere around 4:30 a.m. as well, and then they continued on after that. Does anyone?
I'll add in.
You want to add in?
Just-
Okay.
And the judge pretty much summarized it. All through the night, the team was both monitoring here and pushing. The Weather Service was very proactive in their warnings. We even called them a couple of times and said, we see problems. Can you issue a warning? And they did those warnings. So from a notification using the integrated public alert and warning system, those things that were firing off your phones, we were getting the message out. So very happy with that. The question of preventability, that can't be answered today, in the sense that the team is out there still doing the search and rescue and the recovery and the circumstances why any one individual would have found themselves in a tragic circumstance. We can't know that today, but I appreciate the question.
I know that we had mentioned that this was somewhat unpredictable, this came unexpectedly, but we do know that at least our meteorologists were forecasting that flash flooding could come in the northwest area of Austin. We know that this happened in creek areas. How predictable was this actually? Did this really sneak up on you? Is there anything that we could have done to protect human life?
I think the best thing that we can do is send those alerts out. That iPod system is very effective. It gets, my understanding of the technology,
Very
correct me,
targeted, yep.
If your cell phone is in that area, you get an alert. It's not like Warren Central Texas where you have to sign up for it. Some people get it, maybe some people don't. That is a very robust system, and my understanding is that the National Weather Service gave people many warnings, and obviously your news station did as well.
Next question. Follow up. Yeah, here we go.
Follow up.
Mhm.
Those 4 people that were deceased, did they originate from a home or a vehicle?
Talking to the ESD this morning, they don't know where they originated from. My understanding is that at least 3 of those people they thought separate incidents in different areas, but they don't know the circumstances of how they got there.
Right here.
Did you have any communication from the governor's office in the preceding days to the storm?
In the preceding days, I did not, no.
Judge, just to be clear, and we do have TDM here. TDM regularly, when there's any weather system, and Cody, please jump in if you need to, regularly holds statewide conference calls to all jurisdictions to make people aware of the risk of a given weather system. As we approach that weekend, the risk for this area was really down to the south, and ultimately the people down in Kerrville, unfortunately, they got it, and that's where that focus was. This system just began to turn, and they are continuing their statewide conference calls, but they did everything they could to make sure all the areas, counties in Texas were aware of the system. Cody, you want to add anything to that?
No, that's correct.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, and just so you said governor's office. I did talk to Cody on Friday. He's with TDM. I did also talk with the governor's office as we're more into the storm. Checked in with the governor's chief of staff. Yes.
Was there any evacuations held in Travis County?
There were evacuations, and ESD, do you want to talk about any of that? I know they told me this morning about people who were evacuated off of their roofs, things like that. Do you want to comment a little bit?
I can try. Michael Anderson, representing the Travis County Emergency Services Districts. When the event started to occur in the early morning hours, the agencies were called for dispatching. For the rescues, for the immediate calls and needs. It's my understanding that the ESD1 area, the Lago Vista, Jonestown area, while they were also performing rescues, they worked to get notifications for evacuations. But most of their efforts were on the actual needs for the rescues. Any other further than that, I can't speak to that right now.
We're going to do last question here and follow it up right there.
Last question for me. I appreciate y'all's time and providing us these updates. We know that Travis County is one of the biggest counties in Texas. I want to ask, why did this press conference come hours after we know that the fatalities happened in our county?
I think we released them as they're happening, is my understanding. Our main focus is on the actual, helping people who are out there in the floodwaters, and so I think that was the biggest effort that we've all been working on. Chief Bailey from ESD 11 was the incident commander out around ESD 1, and so we had these folks out there and making sure that they had the resources that they need, of course. And then my understanding is that Hector and others were in communications with the press about details.
I just wanted to ask how many rescues there were, and if you could talk any more.
Yeah, so I heard from the ESDs this morning that they thought there were about 50 rescues. EMS, does that sound about right? So I think they pointed at what's the name of that boat? The little inflatable boat? Zodiac. The Zodiac boat. They talked about rescuing folks using the Zodiac boat out there along Sandy Creek and along Cow Creek. They also helped people by foot leave their houses when the water was coming up. They assisted people to get out that way. So there were water rescues, there were land rescues. And I want to give an additional shout out to TDEM so there was the initial stage of water rescues, people responding to 911 calls, asking for help that way. I think it was Saturday. My understanding is that TDEM sent 2 teams. I think it was about 16 people total to add to about 20 or so people on our end to do additional search to help with rescues up and down the creek on Saturday. So that was sort of a land-based rescue effort. But so there was water and land-based, and then, yeah.
All right, folks, thank you all. If y'all have any follow-up, please let me know.
One thing, Hector.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I just wanted to publicize the Red Cross number.
Oh, go ahead.
So, folks, I'm Chuck Brotherton. I'm the County Executive for Emergency Services. We do have the Red Cross represented here with Mr. Pierre Wynn. Appreciate y'all being here. We have established a hotline for people to call, people who have been impacted by the flooding, people who are searching for loved ones who they may not be able to reach. The number is 1-800-RED-CROSS, REDCROS. The number is 733-2767. That's 800-733-2767. The Red Cross hotline, that is a national hotline. They will take your information. They will get a contact number for you. They will refer the call to local Red Cross here in Travis County, and those folks will get back to you to assess your needs and do everything they can to help.
Talk about damage.
Yeah, please.
Cody McDonald, Texas Division of Emergency Management, District Chief. We just want to encourage everyone that was impacted by this, if they have any damages to their homes, to submit those damages to damages.tdem.texas.gov. That helps us get a track of how many damages, how many homes are damaged, what those property values look like, so we can submit that for potential assistance. So again, damages.tdem.texas.gov. If you'd please submit your damages to us. Thank you.
And one last thing. So there is a lot of debris in the water, in creeks, of course, that a week ago weren't a creek. And then there also is a lot of debris in Lake Travis, Lake Austin. Please do not go in a boat or swimming in Lake Travis. Give us a couple of days at least, and until further notice, really, to make sure that debris goes away. So there should be no recreational boating in Lake Travis or Lake Austin or any of the other lakes right now, because there's a ton of debris, ton of hazards in there, and we want to make sure that people who are trying to engage in recovery efforts are not hampered by people trying to recreate in the lakes right now.
Great. All right.
Thank you.
All. Please let me know if you all have any other follow-up.
I do have a question. I'm wondering if I could borrow Judge Brown for some Spanish.
Yeah.
Okay,
Thank you all.
Okay. Thank you. If you don't let me call me out.
No.
I'll pull it over here.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, you're